Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of No-Dig Gardening. This is K. Pandit. I'm sitting here in my little Montessori sensory garden. You must be wondering why, as an early years Montessori consultant and outdoor teacher, talking about no-dig gardening. And the answer is very simple. Before I give you my answer and share with you how I do my no-dig gardening, I would like to say thank you very much to the Montessori Kinderhouse in Adding for collaborating with me with this project. I have my first group of children coming from this kindergarten, and they will be enjoying this outdoor environment. Looking forward to welcoming the children, Evie, her team, and the parents in October. My concept is learning through play, and my sensory garden provides that opportunity for babies and young children. 3 years ago, I made the decision of putting my vision into reality. I had this vision for a long time that one day I wanted to create a Montessori sensory outdoor learning garden for children and adults. I said to myself, if I don't do it now, I will never be able to do it. In order to start with a project, I first had to amend my soil because my soil is clay. Clay soil is very rich in minerals, but when it's wet, it becomes very cloggy and sticky, and when it's dry, it's very difficult to work with. Here is an example how you can tell your soil is clay. So this is my clay bowl. I just moistened it a little bit to show you that I can really form it and make things out of it. And we've actually used the ground clay to make a pizza oven, and you can do this with this clay soil. So when it's dry, it will just become a hard bowl, whereas this one here, I'm trying to, and it's quite moist here, but I can't even form into a bowl. It just crumbles away. And that's what you want. Compared to this one, you want this soil. So that's the difference. But this soil is very good. If you add all this organic matter, then that will help you, because underneath here, I have this soil. It's the top layer. So this is the top layer, and that's what I'm using for my gardening. Best way to improve your clay soil is to add plenty of organic matters, and my garden has that. So for me, no-dig concept was the best concept to work with. And in no-dig gardening concept, you use what is around in your environment. Number one, I'm using everything from my environment. So when we cut the hedge, all the twigs and thick wood that comes down by cutting it down, we turn that into bark chips. Then all the leaves, we turn that into leaf mulch, and all the grass chippings after cutting the lawn also goes back in the garden. So nothing is given away, nothing is taken to the compost hof. Everything goes back in the ground. So this is what I like about this. So that's number one. Number two, it's good for my wallet. Number three, it's good for my health. So with this concept, it's really reduced the back-breaking tasks that you normally have to do in the garden. So this is what I like about it. And number 4, when the children come here, they will get to see the whole cycle of how the nature works. Here is an example why I strongly believe in giving it back to the nature and no-dig gardening. For example, this butternut squash plant. When I planted this plant, it was about 5 centimeter, but in order to grow this tall and produce the fruit or vegetable, the plant had to use all the goodness from the soil. So literally it has taken the goodness from the soil to grow. And the thing is that we are only going to take the fruit from it, so the rest of the plant is then going to go in the compost heap. Rather than doing that, strongly believe that I should give it back to the soil. So once the plant has finished producing the fruit and vegetables, I then give all these lovely beautiful green leaves and the stem back in the soil. So I'm giving back the nourishment that the plant has taken from the soil, and then it goes back in the soil. Very simple, rather than putting it in the compost pile. An example of how to create a no-dig bed. You need a large cardboard like this. So this is, if there is any tape, then take it out. But so just, it's so easy. But this is made from paper, so this is biodegradable, environmental friendly. So that's not a problem at all. And so you just open it out. So I'm creating here a strawberry bed, and this is a perfect spot. I've got about a meter and a half length of cardboard. So I'm going to layer on top of this cardboard all the compost things that I collected from clearing my vegetable bed. Our council provides us a service, so if you cut any, shrubs and trees, they provide the service of coming around twice a year with a big machine and hexel this. So they have a special bark chips machine. It takes 10 minutes. So this pile is going to get very big. These bark chips are from last year, and it has converted itself into wonderful organic matter. Very good for my no-dig bed. I always leave a pile just to convert into compost so that I can use it in my vegetable beds and other flower beds as well. I'm going to use this in my new strawberry bed. On the way, I found some apples on the ground, so I picked those apples up as well. I'll add those apples also to the new bed. Everything from the garden goes back in the ground. I have picked these apples, and that will also go in the strawberry bed as well. I want to share with the children the natural way of learning. This rotten apple, which has fungi, and so does all the other apples in the wheelbarrow, I'm going to add these apples to the layering of my strawberry bed to create the top layer of the soil. This will encourage good microorganisms and other insects such as earthworms, earwigs, centipedes, and they will all work in harmony to create a wonderful organic soil. So simple, learning through play. Children as young as 3-year-old can easily understand this process. Now back to no-dig strawberry bed. So I first start with all the compost matter that I had collected from the vegetable bed and all the apples. And then I layer it with bark chip compost. Remember to spread each layer evenly as you see me doing in the video. In the wheelbarrow, I've got the soil from the no-dig vegetable garden, and that's very good soil which I've been preparing. The reason I brought the soil from there to add it to the strawberry bed is because we are doing a surprise there. I will tell you about it in my next video, what we are doing there. So let me quickly go over the layering process. So in order to create a no-dig bed, you need a cardboard. Here I'm using about 1.5 meter long cardboard with 0.5 meter width. So on that you layer first all the organic matters. So here I used all the organic matters that I got from my vegetable garden, and also I used some rotten apples. And then I laid it with my bark chip compost, and then I laid it with some soil. So lovely and crumbly. And there is an earthworm in there. Come on, Mr. Worm, I'll leave you alone. So that earthworm is now going to play a very important part in creating this bed. It has food, it has the right temperature, and so just covering a little bit, and gradually I'll fill it up. And the same here. All this, I'm not going to take out anything. This is all goodness. This method works for me, and if you like it, you can give it a try in a small patch in your garden and let me know. After 2 days, I revisited this bed, and I felt that when I did the bed to show you guys how to do no-dig gardening, I realized that the bed was too small for me for growing strawberries, so I returned and I extended the bed, and I'm quite happy because the strawberries that are going to be coming out of this bed, I want to use them for making strawberry jam and strawberry cakes, and also of course for my grandchildren to enjoy picking them. There are still the layers underneath, and this is second week of September. It will definitely help, the autumn and winter for all the wonderful things that I had added that will all convert into good compost. All these beds have been created in the past 3 years. These are all no-dig beds. Last year we created this keys path, and you can see along the edge we've used wood. So we've recycled and we've used wood that when we cut down all the shrubs to define the borders. So we use everything in this garden. Everything gets recycled. I have now come to the end of my video. If you have liked this video, then please press the like button, and if you're new to this channel, then subscribe to my channel. I'm now going to leave you with the rustling sound of the maize in the field next to my garden. Until then, be safe and healthy.